You see, the problem we have as a country, sometimes we do what we call copy and paste. So you see it work in the UK, it works in the US, you think it will work here. Let me give you a simple example of what we are grappling now, what is causing all the issues that we're having now. We've been copying and pasting for the past, from Emefiele to Cardoso, hike the rate. So when you bring a World Bank project of okay, the only way you can fight inflation is to reduce liquidity in the system, you are killing a business and you are killing an informal business. So it's not rocket science. It's things we know. But why we decide to do copy and paste? The World Bank is not in Damaturu. The World Bank does not know Damaturu. The World Bank does not know Portinsco. The World Bank have not been to Nguru.
Well, they will argue with you.
No, they've not been there.
You know, but I mean, I understand the point that you're making.
When you take a system, you look at the precarity of your economy.
But the reason I will try to jump in is there an economic direction for Nigeria from the very beginning? Because that's perhaps the basis of the issues being raised by Mr. Idris. Because if there is an economic direction, for instance, Dubai, everyone knows the oil of Dubai is tourism. I mean, a good number of people, okay, this is what the US stands for, this is what India stands for, this is what China stands for. So, is there an economic direction to Nigeria where when someone says, Nigeria, this is the economy that comes to mind?
No, we don't have that. We don't have
How significant is that as a problem?
That's what's the best. Remember, we don't have a common vision. You remember Vision 2020, House for the year 2000. The former administration, they came up with I've forgotten that their own that they said at the point the world richest man brigade came and said, how can you draw an economic policy without involving your people are the richest? They said, okay, that policy, they will take it back to the lab. That was during Buhari time. They never came back from the lab. And then the next time they came out, they saw that cash policies are good. When you do conditional cash transfer, they don't have data. They say, oh, it happened in Bangladesh. They didn't go to ask the Bangladeshian government whether they had data. They just came in there and said, okay, let's transfer cash. It was hijacked. So it's more or less like, was work in one place, we think it will work here.
All right.
It's not like that. But let me give you an example before you come like this.
Yes.
FX. How can you drive down inflation? How can you keep saying your reserve is? I heard the Minister for Finance telling to give us the state of the nation. Say our reserve has gone up from when they came to 37. And I asked myself, when you came, what was the exchange rate? Your reserve have gone up. What is the exchange rate? The exchange rates have moved even from when your reserve was even at 32. The exchange rate was almost 1,300. Your reserve is 37. The exchange rate is 1,600. Inflation is driven by your exchange rate. So what are you saying about? It's more or less like a man say, I have so much money, and then my people are hungry and keeping the money. What are you keeping the money for? The basic things everybody needs from government is prosperity, security and prosperity. Why are we saying bad governance? It's because there's no prosperity, there's no security. And unfortunately, the leadership have not even taken the bull by the horn. I listened to the Imo State government going back 8 years ago, and he has forgotten that he was also part of the system for the past 16 years. He has been the PU. He was in PDP before he came to APC. He was a serving senator under the PDP. He was even a man that was even being almost being arrested by EFCC over a contract agreement that was given to him by a good Lord Jonathan for the election process. He diverted to APC.
Anyway,
yeah, I was just going to talk about definitely the whole issue of copying and pasting. You mentioned other countries that we all started raising rates. At the same time, we've seen their own inflation numbers start to come down to the central bank target, but here we're still seeing it moving farther away. So looking at the situation right now, I want to bring your attention to investors, local investors. We're seeing the market now, it has closed and it's down.
Yes.
So we're already seeing a reaction now from local investors to these protests.
Well, local investors, there's no local investor again in Nigeria market. Retail investor or a local investor. What you see in Nigeria investors are high net investors. When you talk about local investor, you're talking about retail investors. It's only when you have food you can become a retail investor. Do you see the bank? They are struggling to meet up their recapitalization. Before now, a retail investor will say, okay, let me just buy 1,000 units of this because I think it's just 19,000. They don't even have 19,000. So what you are seeing in the market They say the barometer of any economy is normally measured by what happened in the stock market of the economy. But Nigeria will tell you, oh no, most of our giants are not listed in the stock market, so you cannot use that as a clue to say this is what is happening in our economy. What is going to happen is that because the Economist stayed in Abuja, you see, when you have an economy that is largely driven by you want foreigners to build your economy, you are not taking ownership of your economy. This is what you have. Now, let me give you an instant. How can you bring down cost of goods and services? We've been saying it. I think in your program we said it there. Government, take a bite of your revenue. How can I be importing milk and all those things? You are telling me today I'll bring it at 1,500 and you expect me to sell it low? You can't have a fixed rate on an importation of household item. Fix it. If you know, it's not Nigeria, it's comedy. You know why I say it's comedy? You keep crying that your naira is undervalued, and then you now overvalue your naira to your people also. You are not saying, okay, what is the true value of the naira? If you ask the minister for finance, he will tell you that the true value of the naira should be between 800 and 1,000. So why are you not telling me to bring in good at 1,700? Why are you not telling me, okay, this is the true value, let me put it fixed? Now they wanted to do it with Dangote. Now Dangote refinery, finally the president said, with Dangote it will be fixed, because he's going to buy in naira. But you've forgotten that Nigerians are also buying in naira. So you see, this country is, you know, they kind of, they come up with ban A, ban B. It's only in Nigeria that they come up with policy that you sit back and say, how did you people think?
And so some
ban
of these...
A now, ban A will have life for 20 hours. Ban E or ban D does not even see life for 3 days. If you are in business, as a businessman, as a capitalist, who will you service? The man that pay you 66 naira or the man that pay you 226 naira? It's common arithmetic. Like he said, 25 years ago, 5,000 megawatt. Today, 4,000 something megawatt. Then tomorrow, we are going to get people from ban B, so that from ban B to ban A, so that we can reduce subsidy. So because subsidy is high. Tomorrow now, there's a subsidy that's going to 150 billion. Saying that.
For you, what you're essentially saying is, you know, there needs to be some harmonization.
Look, it's not just harmonization. I think the government, I'm sorry to use the word I want to use, I'm on national television, I think this is the most arrogant government we've ever had.
Now,
when I mean that, I need to explain why I'm saying that. The government doesn't think this is what the people want. This is what they want to do, and they go ahead and do it. Like you said in your introduction, you were trying to ask him, say, when they told us this policy, did you tell us that we'll go under through surgery? If you're going to a doctor, they'll tell you, okay, you say, well, what's the side effect of this surgery? They will tell you, okay, you sleep like this, you do like this, you do like this. But when they told us, they said the Nigerian problem is subsidy. When we remove subsidy, our problem is gone. We remove subsidy, the problem has tripled. So, do we have a common economic goal to move Nigeria?
I know that there are some. I'm going to ask you about, you know, subnationals, but I would gladly have some figures.
We have some data actually out today. PMI, that's the business, the one that tracks business activity in Nigeria, that came out already, and it's for July, and we're below that 50-point level, showing business activity tanked in July. We also have cost of healthy diet in Nigeria. That has increased in 6 months. It started about 800 naira per adult. That's for a healthy diet. It started at 800 naira in January this year. That has moved all the way to 1,200 naira. So we've seen about 45% increase. And that is the cheapest, you know.
No, the cheapest food, I was telling people, the cheapest food those days, when we are talking, they said, if they send you to jail, you're just going to be eating beans. Do you know? Beans. Then if you go to a house, I remember when we were at home, we want to talk about how poor you are, they say, you people are eating beans. Today, beans is more expensive than rice. So it's the rich that are eating beans. So that's how far we've gone. We see that they want to intervene. They say there is bag of rice. They will buy. They calculate. They say that the president have intervened. Bag of rice, 50,000, 50 kg for 50,000 naira. Minimum wage is 70,000. So if I buy the bag of rice, that's 50,000. Tomatoes, they say it's 15,000. By the time I buy the tomatoes, well, how will I cook it?